What is up, everybody? Look what we got here. Gotrax G4. And guess what we're doing today? We're doing a review. That's it. Now listen up. Whenever I do a review on a product like this, I have a threshold, okay? I have an expectation. And the threshold on an item like this, because, you know, this isn't no $89 toy. This is something that costs $500 to $600. This is something that may be, for some people, a big purchase for them for a whole year. Okay, so they want to make sure they get their money's worth, and they have an expectation from what they read online and from what the videos they see and what the company advertises. Okay, so the threshold that I have for a product like this is, if somebody was to come and steal this right now, would I go buy another one? Is it so good? Do I like this thing so much that if I crashed it and rolled it over a hill, or somebody came and swiped it, would I be so mad I would run to the store and buy another one? And for this thing, the answer would be no. Okay? Is this a bad scooter? No, it's not a bad scooter. It's a nice scooter. It just doesn't meet that threshold it doesn't meet the threshold of my expectations. It's got two flaws, and I'm going to talk about them here in a second. I don't need to go over all the mumbo jumbo, you know, all the technical crap about how big the battery is and all that. You can look at that when you go online, you know, and all the other reviewers talk about all that, you know, all that stuff, you know, I mean, miles per hour. It goes 20 miles an hour, okay? That's all you need to know. That's how fast it'll go. It'll go about 13, 14 miles an hour in the first speed and 20 miles an hour in the second speed. And what I'm going to tell you about the two flaws that it has, what kills this thing for me is the constant nuisance of the cruise control that you can't stop, that you can't disable, and the battery life. Now, I did 3 long rides with this thing, and now they advertise 25 miles. This ain't even close to 25 miles. One time I got 7.5 miles and had to walk a mile and a half home. One time I got 9.8 miles, and one time I got 10 miles. Now, the time I got the 9.8 miles, I only had it in the first gear, in the low speed. So just like the Hover 1, it doesn't really make a difference with this thing if you have it in the high speed or the low speed. It's going to get the same mileage for some reason. I don't know why that is. It just is, okay? The only thing I like about the Hover 1 better than this is that they don't lie and tell you it has a 25-mile range. They tell you they only claim 12 miles and it'll get 10, which is pretty close to being truthful, okay? Where this is, they're way off the beaten path of telling the truth. This thing it has a very nice build quality. So it does have some good things. It's a good scooter. It just has these couple little issues, you know. Well, not couple little issues. It has the big issue, because the biggest issue is the drive time, is the battery life. That's the biggest issue of them all. And that's the one I have the biggest problem with. The battery has let me down. I'm just very disappointed in the battery life. I'm just disappointed, plain and simple. Everything else is great on it. The throttle has a really good mid-range power band. For this $500 scooter, it'll get up this hill that I always come up here. It'll get up this hill faster than any scooter that I have other than the Mantis Pro, of course. I mean, it'll zoom right up that hill, no problem. It doesn't, that little incline there doesn't affect this thing whatsoever. So it just goes right on up there. No problem at all. Has real nice brakes. Real nice brakes on this thing. Real nice little display here. Real nice throttle, nice lock, real nice stem lock, nice tires, nice ride. Man, it has a lot of great things going for it. But that battery life is what kills it for me. I like the scooter. I ride it. But that battery life kills it. The weight isn't that bad. I don't think I can press this, being the old geezer that I am. See if I can do the one-arm press on it. Which I did. Wasn't easy. But I did it. I don't know what it weighs. Probably like 36 pounds, maybe 34, something like that. But I made it. I got it up there. What I would do if I was in the market for something like this into this $500 to $600 range, I would pass on this and I would go with the Highboy S2 Pro or maybe the Hover One Alpha Pro. They have a new version coming out. I'm thinking about getting it and maybe giving the other one and this to my son. Because I like the Hover One Alpha. This thing reminds me of the Hover One Alpha, the way it rides, the way the throttle, the power band. This has way better brakes. But it reminds me a lot of that. And that is a lot cheaper. That's $349 or $399 at Best Buy. $349 on a good day, $399 on Fridays. Okay, on the weekends, it's always more. But yeah, so you could save $100 and basically get the same scooter because the range on this and the Hover One Alpha is the same. It both gets like between 9 and 10 miles. And like I said before, even with the high speed, low speed, it don't matter with them. They do this. It's the same thing. So yeah, this thing runs good, man. It's a nice running scooter. It's the battery. The battery kills it for me, man. The battery kills it. The battery kills it. Yeah, look at this. I'm already up to 18, 19 miles an hour. Brakes. Stop great. Boom. 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20. Right like that. Just power. It's got all kind of power. Great brakes too. I don't think you can do any burnouts with it because it has that. Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you about that other thing I don't like. That's why you can't do any burnouts with it. It has that double punch on the throttle. That's the other thing I don't like about it. That's not as big a deal as the battery and the automatic cruise control. On the throttle, when you kick it, because it's a kickstart, so when you kick it and hit the throttle down, you have to hit it twice. You have to go like that, 2 times. It's very annoying. Okay, it's very annoying. So, yeah, good scooter. It just doesn't meet the threshold. Okay, so I mean, I know in the comments there's people that love it and this, blah, 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 blah. You know, I don't care about all that. I have my own threshold, and my own threshold is I wouldn't buy this again. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I think the review of the Swagger 5 is going to probably be next. And I have a couple of new ones rolling in here. The Wide Wheel Pro, which I'm real excited to be getting a hold of. That's supposed to be coming tomorrow. And then I bought this one called a Kugu. They had a really nice high-end model. But since I never heard of the company, I was very leery of buying it. Couldn't find anything online about it. So I was like, I don't know. I mean, it had all the great specs, but I just wasn't sure. You know, I wasn't even going to be sure if I was going to get the scooter, and you know, it was going to be dropping over $1,000 on it. So I went with this $300 model, this little chintzy one, to just to check out their build quality and, you know, to see if it's kind of like the Swagger 5 or something like that. So we'll try that out too. It's called the Kugu something. Okay, Kugu away. So anyway, this thing here, yeah, man, this thing has got some great mid-range power. Wow, really nice. Really nice. I mean, if this thing's battery, if this battery would hold up in this would be great. If this thing had a, if this thing had a 16, 17 mile range, I'd be thrilled. I'd be thrilled to death with it if it had that. So, all right, guys. Thanks for tuning in, man. I'll talk to you later.